Afternoon, everyone, in this sort of sunny, no, I'm going to go with rainy day in London. And I'm Tim from WatchWord, and we've had lots of positive feedback on previous episodes. We had Georgina from Pen to the Lens talking about her Smith's Everest watch, and I'm here joined by Isaac today to talk about his favourite watch. So, welcome, Isaac. Pleasure. So, please.
Hi, well, I'm Isaac from London, from Source Watches on Instagram, and today we're going to have a conversation about my Blackbay, Tudor Black Bay 58.
Brilliant. I'm looking forward to it. Without further ado, let's kick it off.
Nice. So tell me the journey, how you came to purchase the watch. Was it something that you had looked for a while, or was it just sort of an impulse buy? Were you weighing it up between that and another watch? You know, as listeners know, I've got the Black Bay, but in the gilt and the black. You know, were you looking at that as well as the blue? So just tell me about the journey that you went on to get the watch.
Well, I always admired Tudor as a brand. When I was collecting a lot of vintage Omegas and tags, I always looked at Tudors and always thought about buying one at one stage. So yeah, I promised myself as soon as I get a relatively large paycheck that I'd go ahead and pick one up. Decided to stay a course and look at some Tudors. And I was first invited to try out Black Bay, and decided to go with the blue variant. And I decided blue, pretty simple because it's my favorite color. I like blue quite a lot. And that day I was wearing a denim jacket, and the model with the NATO kind of attachment seemed to complement the outfit better. Pretty superficial, but yeah, so that's why I decided to go with the NATO instead. Because it just looked a lot better with my outfit. And I believe they're a great introductory watch when it comes to the world of diving watches, and especially if you're not comfortable spending a ton of money on your first diver's watch, I kind of feel like they're a good choice.
Nice. So what's your favorite bit about the watch? Is it the blue dial, or is it other things? Tell me about it.
But I'd say one notable thing is the rotating bezel. I know it sounds very John Mayer Hidinky, but I was kind of gravitated towards that kind of crunchy noise as the bezel kind of like oscillates. I thought that was kind of cool, kind of like a geeky moment. And I believe, like, as you know, traditional diving watches, that was, that feature is kind of an intriguing feature, moving bezels. And like, as you probably know, that was used for the divers to kind of set their time, set their time when they go on their dives. So yeah, I thought it was quite kind of when they're submerged in the water. So I thought that's kind of like a cool kind of feature to the watch that I probably don't use that much, but it's cool to know it's there,
No, definitely. Yeah. It's the same thing for me. I didn't often turn it that much, but when we were in the shop the other day and we were trying on those Breitlings, it didn't click and make a noise, and I was like, oh my gosh, I thought they were going to. So when I got home, I was like, let's get the Black Bay out and turn that around, and that satisfying click. So
exactly
right, yeah. What about other things you like about it? Not necessarily the favorite thing, but we talked about the blue dial, but just the hands that you like. Is it the crown? Other things. You said there were small things that you grew to like. So tell me more.
Yeah. Well, other things that I do like about this particular watch, I like the size. Probably like you as well. I think I remember you saying you don't like too large of a watch. So for me, the 39mm is perfect.
It is.
Especially because I kind of feel like I wouldn't stray far from a 40mm. I'll be pretty much 40 mm and downwards. And that's simply because of the size of my wrist. It wouldn't make no sense for me to have a watch that just dwarfs my wrist. So yeah, I quite like the size of the watch. I also like the hands and bezel and strap also. I kind of feel like it's, I like the whole aesthetic when it comes to those features on the watch. The hour markers are classic Rolex Tudor markers, which just add a bit of heritage to the design, a bit of familiarity. The Black Bay is also powered by, as you probably know, that M25 402 caliber movement, which is a great movement. And has a power reserve of 70 hours. And I believe, I've had no issues with the running of the watch. It runs very smooth for me. And I also like the winding crown. It's also it's a bit of a disguised gem, I'd say, because usually a lot of crowns I see are left blank or designed in a bit of a way that's a bit underwhelming. But on this model, as you probably know, there's like the Tudor rose, kind of like a stamp.
Is it the brand for you, or is it the watch? Because I know you said you looked at other watch brands and owned other watch brands before, but is it the watch singularly, or is it the brand that you're sort of drawn to?
I kind of believe it's a bit of a joint thing. So I kind of feel like the brand was very cool because I remember hearing about how they used them in the French Navy, I believe it was, and how they needed watches with durable watches, but they needed them to be cost efficient. So I kind of was gravitated towards the brand for that, knowing that they're kind of like renowned for making good cost effective watches. But then also when I started to look into the Black Bay in particular, I really kind of like, fell in love with the whole, the features of the watch, what the watch represented and what it really offered. So I'd probably say it's a combination of both, and it's probably not as clear cut.
Cool. And sort of, when do you wear it? Do you wear it all the time, or do you wear it on special occasions? And when you do wear it, sort of, how does it make you feel?
Well, I wear the Black Bay more so every day, and that's probably, like I mentioned, because it's so comfortable. I kind of feel like with the steel bracelet, although it is more durable, as I mentioned, the NATO almost feels like it's not really on the wrist. It's like, probably the closest you can get to just, not having a watch on, which is, I guess, worrying in some cases, but then also it means it's quite comfortable.
That's good. And final question is, why should people own this watch?
I believe people should own this watch or own a Tudor watch, because they're great watches. They're great watches to own, and they don't necessarily home a ridiculous waiting list, as we've come to know in the watch world. They're built to last, and they have great in-house movements, and then they're relatively affordable. If you're looking for a watch, I kind of feel like you're not scared or scared away from the prices. I kind of feel like they're relatively affordable in comparison to similar offerings in terms of features or type of value. And as a brand,
they've got David Beckham, haven't they? So it can't be a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. We've got David Beckham. I mean, I'm pretty sure he probably only wears his in public places and then just puts on something else. But I mean, if he has it on, he has it on. It's bragging rights, right? But I think as a brand, they're constantly innovating. If we're looking away from the Black Bay 58, you got the new Ranger that's come out. You've got the Tudor Black Bay Pro. And I feel like these are just like brilliant watches that are like, I feel like they're really pushing the boundaries to kind of innovate, but they're not losing the heritage, and then also remaining, cost efficient, to the consumer. So I kind of feel like they're a great brand, and Tudor Black Bay 58 is a real good choice.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Isaac. I mean, it was a great opportunity to talk about the Black Bays. I've got one, you've got one. It's amazing. Perhaps I have to swap them at some point. But like I said, the drill by now. WatchWord, it's all about your favourite watch. 5 minutes or less. And if you're interested, and then just drop me a message. But thanks so much. It's such a pleasure. Yeah, pleasure. Brilliant. And check out Source Watches as well.